For quiz number 1 practice, we're going to put the polynomial in standard form and then identify the degree and term of the polynomial. So for these two parts of 1 and 2, you could use your chart and your notes. So first, when I'm talking about standard form, I'm looking for the highest exponent, which is a 3, and that would come down first, that positive 3x to the third. Then I would have 10x squared, then the negative 5x, and minus 9. For the degree, we would call that a 3, which is cubic, because I looked at the highest exponent. And for term, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms, and that's a polynomial. In number 2, again, I'm looking for the highest exponent, so that looks like a 5. So x to the 5th. I don't have a 4. I don't have an exponent of 3, but I do have an exponent of 2, so that comes down next. Then I have 9x and a minus 7. My degree is a 5, which is called a 5th degree. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. So 4 terms is a polynomial. In number 3 through 6, you're just dividing polynomials, which means that you'll divide your big numbers and you will subtract your exponents. So divide, subtract. 24 divided by 4 is 6. 2 minus 1 is x to the first. Or you could just put x. 16 divided by 4 is 4. And 1 minus 1 is 0, so I don't write that down. In number 4, 9 divided by 3 is 3. 6 divided by 2 gives me x to the 4th. 30 divided by 3 is 10. And 4 minus 2 is x to the 2nd power. In number 5, again, we're dividing and subtracting, so 32 divided by 8 is 4. 5 minus 3 is x squared. Negative 16 divided by 8 is negative 2. And 3 minus 3 is 0, so I don't write that down. Then I have negative 24 divided by 8, and that gives me negative 3. 2 minus 3 is x to the negative 1. I write this up here because I know I can't have a negative exponent. So I'm going to put this over 1, and I'm going to move this down to the bottom of the fraction. So it'll be a minus 3 x to the first. In number 6, again, divide, subtract. So 15 divided by 5 is 3. 7 minus 3 is x to the 4th. 35 divided by 5 is 7. 5 minus 3 is x squared. Negative 10 divided by 5 is negative 2. And 3 minus 3 is 0, so I don't write that down. In number 7, it says find the greatest common factor. So if I look at 7 and 14, I have to have a number that goes into 7 and 14 evenly, and that would be 7. I look at my smallest x. Is that x to the 5th or x squared? And that is x squared. So 7x squared is the GCF of this polynomial. In number 8, 27, 9, and 18. Well, I know that 3 can go into all of those as well as 9, and 9 is greater than 3. So I'm going to pick 9. And the smallest x I have is x squared. In the bottom two questions, it says, what is the factored form of the given polynomial? This means find the GCF and factor it out. So, for 7, 14, and 28, I have a 7 that goes into all of those numbers evenly. And my lowest x is x to the 3rd. So I bring that down, and then I need to divide and subtract to get the parentheses. So 7 divided by 7 is 1. 5 minus 3 is x squared. 14 divided by 7 is 2. 4 minus 3 is x to the first. And then negative 28 divided by 7 is negative 4. 3 minus 3 is 0, I don't write it down. In number 10, the number that divides into all three numbers evenly would be 4. I see that I have an x in every term, and the lowest x I have is just x. So I bring the GCF down, and I divide and subtract and write down my answer here. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. 3 minus 1 is x squared. 16 divided by 4 is 4. 2 minus 1 is just x. And negative 24 divided by 4 is negative 6. 1 minus 1 makes x to the 0, so we do not write that down.